Hi, today I'm going to be showing what I eat in a day, 3 meals for summertime that are light, refreshing, and using all vegan ingredients. To start off with breakfast, I just made a simple smoothie. I took 2 of these medjool dates and removed the pits before adding them to the blender, along with about a tablespoon of chia seeds. Then for the fruit, I added almost this whole container of blackberries. These were super fresh and really sweet and juicy. I don't buy blackberries too often, but in the summertime when they're in season, I think they're great in a smoothie. I also added 2 bananas. I just broke them apart into a couple of pieces before adding them to the blender. By the way, this does make more than just 1 smoothie. I would say it makes about 3. So I just kept the rest and saved them in my fridge for breakfast on a different day. I also chopped up 1 mango and added that to the blender. Along with some spinach, like a small handful. I just took part of the bunch of spinach I had. And then for liquid, I added some almond milk as well as some water. Then I just blended everything together and poured it in a glass, and that was my smoothie for breakfast. Then for lunch, I'm going to be making a macaroni pasta salad. So to start off, you want to boil water and get your macaroni noodles cooked so that you can drain them and then let them sit for a little while to cool down. So for veggies, I diced up a few stalks of celery, two green onions, about a half to a third of red onion, a couple of small carrots, which I diced up pretty small, as well as a few pickles, and a handful of parsley. Then for the dressing, or I guess the pasta salad sauce, I started off with some mayo. I really just eyeballed all of these measurements, so I'll give my best guess in the description below, but I think this is maybe around 2/3 a cup of vegan mayonnaise. I also added in about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. And then I added in about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. You could use white wine vinegar for this as well, whichever vinegar you have on hand. I also added about 1 to 2 tablespoons of agave syrup for some sweetness. I also shook in a fair amount of dried dill and some black pepper. Ideally you would use fresh dill, but I rarely have fresh herbs on hand just because they go bad so quickly. So if you have dried dill, that's perfectly fine. That's what I used. And I mixed it all together and then added a little bit of water until I got to the desired consistency. I also added in about a tablespoon of capers along with the caper brine in the jar as well. This is optional though, only if you like capers or have them on hand. Next, I just added in all of the chopped veggies to a big bowl with the cooked noodles and stirred those all around. And then I added in the dressing and stirred that as well so that everything had a light coating of the pasta salad sauce on it, and that completes the pasta salad. Then for my final meal of the day, I'm going to be making these fresh tofu and veggie spring rolls. You start with the tofu since that needs to bake in the oven while you can prep all the other ingredients. You don't have to put any sauce on them, or you can honestly use anything that you have. You could use hoisin sauce or drizzle some soy sauce on them. I had this Thai sweet chili sauce that is pretty spicy. It has some nice red chili flakes in it. It's pretty customizable based on what you have. And while those are baking in the oven until they're a little bit crispy, I prepped the veggies by cutting them into pretty thin strips. So I started with the cucumber, as well as some carrot, and I also sliced up a ripe avocado. Then for the dipping sauce, I pretty much made this up as I went along, but I wanted to start with a peanut butter base. I think that's always really good for spring rolls. So I combined some heaping tablespoons of peanut butter with some soy sauce, some rice wine vinegar, and some water to thin it out. This definitely could be more of an exciting sauce. You could add in some ginger or garlic or sriracha. I kept mine pretty simple, but again, easily customizable based on what you have on hand. Then I got ready to roll my sheets. You just have to take a piece of rice paper and dip it in water until it becomes more malleable and easy to fold around. So I placed it down on my surface and then added some tofu, some of the veggies, and I added in a small piece of butter lettuce as well into each wrap. I fold over the sides first, and then I just roll it up and try and tuck everything in as tightly as I can. And repeated this process until I had around 5 rolls, and I cut each of those rolls in half since I think they're easier to eat that way. And those are the meals that I had in this day. Let me know which one you think you'd like to try, and thanks for watching this video.